Just a second. Need to get the sound working. There we go. All right. I just wasn't on the right output for my rain sound, but that's okay. So today I am going to be studying more React concepts. I know I said I was going to continue on with the class-based components lesson, but I lost my cloud instance or whatever it was, like the cloud project that I had for that little example project. So I will not be continuing with that, but that's okay because we were finished that. Yo, what's up, Groovier? Sorry I'm late, by the way. I had to make dinner and clean up a little bit, and I thought I would be done before I was, but indeed I was not. And I also had some other errands to run, so. But no, I hope you're doing well, Groovier. It's you know, Sunday evening here. It's probably Monday morning over there, I would suspect. So I hope you have a great start to your week and everything goes smoothly. So yeah, I'm going to be doing component lifecycle methods and then React testing for this stream. So that's the plan. So hopefully in the next couple streams we'll get to the next project after I do some more studying. I also figured out Git integration with Obsidian. So I have my whole Git, or I have my whole Obsidian vault on GitHub now. You're doing great. I'm 3 hours behind my time. Oh, I got you. I got you. Do I live in? Yes, I do. I do, Groovier. Yeah, no, I wasn't sure what time zone you were in. Sorry, I wasn't sure. But that's fair. So you're like, it's like 3:57 for you. That's not too bad. So I would assume you're out west, either in Canada or the States somewhere, right? Like if you're 3 hours behind, you'd be like California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, BC, something like that. You don't have to tell me where you're from. I know that's the right time zone. But yeah. All right, we've learned how to test vanilla JavaScript applications. Oh wait, that's the wrong lesson. Component lifecycle methods. Here we go. Oh, you're in Canada too. Oh, I got you. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm in Eastern Canada, so not Atlantic Canada, but Eastern. Sort of like within drivable distance to Toronto. So yeah. Not gonna say which city, but it's like nearish to Toronto. So yeah. Use effect. There's 3 stages to a component's life: mounting, updating, and unmounting. Hello, Jay. How's it going? Render. So. Yeah, no, today's going to be mostly note-taking / studying stream. Render function is most used lifecycle method. 1 required lifecycle. Only required. Runs on mount and on lifecycle. Oh, an update. No modification of state. Yeah, after doing the class-based component stuff yesterday, I totally understand why it's kind of more of a deprecated pattern. Not deprecated necessarily, but outdated. But I would have finished that exercise. I was saying earlier on I would have finished that exercise that I started yesterday, but I lost the fork for some reason on the code sandbox online. So I was like, I'm just gonna skip that. I'm just gonna skip the last little thing because it was kind of, I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of it. So that's okay. Methods run after the component is mounted. Run once after. Good place to perform any operations. Component did update. So I'd assume this runs every update, right? Runs after re-renders. Update. The portion is what made me not get into React sooner. Oh, got you, Jay. Yeah, honestly, so like I was reading a little bit about this off stream yesterday. So this was the like main pattern for components until like what, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I just did an unintentional 6-7 meme, sorry. But like, yeah, I don't know. This would have been, I can totally see why. Like, if this was the way the paradigm was, like, if when I like start, I would have hated it. I don't know. Component will unmount. Called once before component unmounts. Clearing timers, cleanup actions, etc. Class components are total crap. I hate them too. Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I'm doing them. I'm doing my due diligence and I'm learning them. At least, just for completion's sake. But yeah. Because I think again, like I think they're good to at least be aware of. So, but I also learned React after they became obsolete. Got you. Yeah, me. Yeah. Well, me too, Gerbier. Yeah, like when did functional components get released React? Short history of the functional components. I don't know. React version 16. Doesn't really say. Maybe they existed before, but here we go. As far as I know, February 16, 2019, React 16.8 version now hooks allow you to use state. Okay, I see. So functional components were stateless before that. Okay. Got you. So it was like, yeah, like 7 years ago. Cool. Good to know. Let's see. How useEffect combines lifecycle methods. useEffect combines lifecycle methods. Actually, I should probably indent this. And then put them underneath a note. Or a little heading. Understand that useEffect hook is functional components is essentially combinations of, okay. In functional components, useEffect combines. will unmount. Okay, so if it will unmount, this is run before. Yeah, so it's before. Yeah, okay. For some reason, I assumed it was after. Okay. Yeah, that's confusing. I guess it can't really run after it unmounts. That doesn't really make sense. No dependency array would be equivalent to, okay, yeah. No dependency. Oh. Combined and then return function in use is equivalent to unmounting. Cool. Component lifecycle diagram. And this is for specifically for class components. The constructor runs and then render runs inside of mounting and updating. And then those three run here. Ah, I see, okay. That's cool. Read through component documentation. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm gonna like skim this. Oh, from constructor props up to component will unmount. Okay, so constructor props is here, and then it goes to where? Component will unmount. Okay, yeah, so not like too crazy. Where your class component mounts. Yeah, I should write that. Constructor in class components runs before mounting. Yeah, I'm just gonna skim this. Component did catch. No constructor and functional components. That's interesting. I feel like this is bad though, because like why would you want a, like, I feel like if an error is thrown by a child, you would want to probably, like, stop the program from running. I don't know. Maybe not. Like, if it's a critical error, I don't know how the program could keep, like, I'd say the program, but I guess, app could keep running if there's a critical error. I don't know. Unless it runs this function and then stops running. Because usually if there's like an error with like some sort of I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the ones that are like critical are like more back end stuff, but I'm not sure. I feel like there could be like some critical error though, and then like I don't know. Or if there's like an infinite loop or something, like would this ever run? I don't know. Production development builds are slightly different. Error boundary component. Ah, I see. Okay. Actually, no. Want to update. Pass in props or previous props and state as grams 2. I guess it can't just like access. Oh, I guess those are like the previous ones, right? I don't know why it can't just. Oh, right, because this is run after. I see. So this is run after the update, and then these are the values before updating. Allows function to access, or method, I guess. Which may be important to know for implementing some logic. E.g. conditional updates. Why'd you choose React over Angular, Svelte, or others? I think mostly Gurvier because it's the one that I think is the most used, and it's the one that has the most, I think, establishment within the industry. And I think also, I was watching a video about this. I don't remember which video. But I think React kind of serves as a good starting point. So like once you know React, it's easier to pick up other frameworks. I mean, you could probably say that for any framework, but I don't know. It's the same reason why I chose to do web development instead of like low-level programming, because I just thought web development was like a good gateway into software development in general. So yeah, I don't know. It was also the other reason, to be honest with you, is because it was also included within the Odin project. So, but I will definitely learn. Like, I do plan on learning Svelte after React. I want to learn Svelte. because I had this guy that I knew in university who loved Svelte, and he wasn't even a front end guy, but he loved using it. He said it's a lot. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of speaking out of my ass because I don't know for sure, but I recall him mentioning that it was very like React can be kind of verbose, but Svelte is very condensed and neat, I guess. I don't know. But I can see what he means about React being kind of more verbose. Component will mount. Wait. Okay, will receive props. Okay, those are deprecated. Wait, did it say about that? Yeah, consider other APIs. Component will unmount. If you define the I tried Svelte, also find it good, but I feel a little limited in the framework mainly because you're not using it. That's fair, Gervier. I think, again, it's all about practice, right? Like, how competent and comfortable you feel with any given framework or library or whatever it is all down to how much you actually use it and build with it, right? So, and that goes for anything too. Like that goes for any programming language or development style. Like I've been focusing on front end for the last 3 months, right? And I feel a lot more like I can basically do infinitely more in front end than I can in back end. Even though I had a little bit of, I have some back end understanding, but you know, if you'd asked me before I started streaming, I would have probably said I'd be more, I guess, capable in back. I mean, that's not to say I was capable in either one, but I had a little bit more back end knowledge than I did front end, only because, like I have previous experience working with, we had to work with a few APIs in Python, and we had to build an API in Python for one of my courses. So like I had some familiarity with, calling it backend is kind of like catch-all too. Like it wasn't really like web backend necessarily, but, yeah. So okay, so this is good. Finding component. Right, this is what we learned. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I would consider that complete. What is the only required lifecycle method? Render. Which lifecycle method should you use for initial data fetching? Got did mount, did update, and will unmount. And then combines all three. Got it there. Okay, pretty easy. And then the other thing, this is pretty cool with the Git integration with Obsidian. So what I can do is I can trigger a command, and then I can do git commit and sync. And then it commits to my remote, which is pretty cool. So now I've got it backed up. And then eventually, hopefully, I can use this. And then I know there's a way of hosting Markdown, whether it gets converted to HTML or what, I'm not 100% sure. But, you know, I was thinking of having some sort of like repository where, like just of this web development folder specifically, because this is more like for myself. But of this web development folder, so people can access these notes if they want them. Because I know we were having that conversation, like previously. Yeah. So let's do a new note here. I don't know. It might be neat. React testing. Let's see. We've learned how to test our vanilla JavaScript applications. Testing is a powerful tool. Blah 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 blah. However, since we're using Vite, we'll switch over to Vitest. Vitest. How do we say that? Vitest or Vitest? I guess it doesn't really tell me. Jest compatible. Cool. So you can use test sets from Jest. That's nice. We were probably going to have to set up a test environment as well, a test environment. Why UI testing is valuable, how to set up a React testing environment, how to test UI elements. Yeah, because what else would you be doing really? because like React is entirely front end, so there's no real reason to like, you know, like it would just be, yeah, testing UI stuff. I guess there's other logic that can happen that you can test as well within that like of like internal state that's not actually shown on the UI. So I guess it's not just UI, but that, you know. You've some experience already with TDD and the idea of testing in general. You may remember the Battleship project, yes. Well, my test set for the Battleship project kind of went to hell. But, you know, that's just what happens when you make bigger projects. I would still consider, I think I would still consider the Battleship project to be the biggest project I've made. Even if it's not like the, I don't know. It's definitely the most involved project I've ever made, and I think part of it was complicated by the fact that I did it in vanilla. But anyway, I digress. Let's take a 5-minute break. So yeah, no, that was quite a project for sure. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend, or, you know, it's almost over, I guess. Some places in the world, it's already Monday. But, you know, hope it was a good weekend, and I wish you all a good week ahead, I guess. I don't know. I'm not leaving or anything. I don't know. Just trying to make conversation, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no, this week should be pretty chill. Streams Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday as well. So, yep. I kind of like doing the two nights a week off, because like I find when I stream, if I stream and I like 4 weeknights a week, I get kind of like burned out. So I try to do 3 weeknights and the 2 weekends. And like today, for example, I would have streamed in the afternoon, but I wanted it was a really nice day here, like probably close to, I would say, 70 Fahrenheit or 20 Celsius. So I wanted to kind of do stuff in the afternoon, do some errands, stuff like that. But yeah, how much of HTML CSS do I need to learn React? I would say it depends on your existing level JS. Like, it depends on how comfortable you already are with HTML and CSS, and if you've built a few projects. Like what I would say for me is, if you've built a few full applications, I'm not saying like full stack necessarily, but if you've built a few, like a handful, probably like 5 or 6 like decently sized projects that took you anywhere from 5 hours to 20 hours to complete, I would, you know, once you're pretty comfortable with that, and you can like do the project and build it start to finish and finish them, then I would say probably after that point, especially if I should also mention, they should include JavaScript. They can't just be HTML and CSS. You have to also include some JavaScript experience within those projects. So like, for example, I built a calculator, I built a Battleship game, I built a weather app thing, like a front end wrapper for like a weather API. I built like a to-do list app, stuff like that. How old am I? I'm 25, Kamal. I've built a few projects in Python, but it was usually Flask and Django. Vibe code the front end. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You can, I mean, again, like I get that. Like, that's fair, because it's not like the front end, in fairness, is more of it's not as like critical to the program. Like if you're building a full stack application, it's not like it's critical to like security. However, if you have a front end that doesn't do proper input sanitization, at least, because you can do input sanitization, like if you're making something with like a form or something like that, right? You can do client side and server side input sanitization, and if you're vibe coding a front end and it doesn't properly do like validation, I should say input validation, then that can cause problems like with AI. But you know, I don't know. I totally get that though. I totally get vibe coding front end. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It honestly depends on how comfortable you are with HTML and CSS already, or whether you still feel like you have more to learn. Like if you personally feel like you can't sit down and build a beginner to intermediate level project in like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then I would say wait until you build a couple like beginner to intermediate projects. Like again, like the Battleship game, weather app, whatever it is, to-do list, something like this, without looking at a tutorial necessarily, right? Like building it, you can look at like Stack Exchange and I mean even use AI to your own discretion, whatever. But like just avoid, just copying a tutorial because that's just gonna lead you into tutorial hell. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say once you're past that, then you're probably good to learn React. At least the initial parts of it. Um, and I think again, like with these courses too, like the Odin Project, like it only really gives you an introductory view into React. I feel like there's so much more to these libraries and frameworks than the course can really teach you. But it gives you enough that you can go and learn the rest of those things on your own. So, yeah. Anyway, all right, let's get started with another 25-minute session. But yeah, and again, like on these streams, like I do some streams that are study streams, right? Like right now, like tonight, it's gonna be primarily study streaming. I also build projects live, but study streaming. This is how I prefer to learn, by like writing notes, especially for the harder concepts. I didn't do this earlier on, but for the harder concepts, like writing notes, trying to digest the information in my own, you know, um, my own thoughts, I guess, kind of to reformulate the information, my own thoughts. So I don't know. It's just my process. What do I do full time? I work in IT, Kamal. You can actually, if you want to read my FAQ, here's a link to my FAQ. There's some questions in there that may be addressed, questions you may have that are addressed in there. But no, I don't work in software development. I'd like to someday, but not yet. Yeah, no worries, Kamal, no worries. But yeah, if you have any other questions that aren't on my FAQ, like feel free to ask. I'm here to help and answer questions and help in any way I can, I guess. Despite this, you may have run into bugs with the UI because your tests only involve underlying logic. You may have worked Battleship game. Let's be honest, every time you make a change of any part of your code, UI tests give more confidence that our website contains the intended contents. Notify when something no longer satisfies requirements. How's it going, Jeremy? Welcome in. Okay, so this isn't actually giving me anything that I really need to write down. Okay, so I'm going to set up a new all-along Robin Wire's guide on setting Vitest with RTL. Is this a YouTube video? Oh no, it isn't. Okay. All right. So let's set this up. Vitest or Vitest. Do I need to have this within a project? Oh, okay. So let's see. The tutorial assumes you've already created a React project with Vite in either JavaScript or TypeScript. Okay. So let's start up a new project. Actually, no. I'm just gonna get code up here, and then we'll do a new repository inside of Odin React. Can I make a new folder in this view? Oh yes, I can. I'm stupid. New folder. Odin React testing. Vitest. Or let's say Vitest test project. All right, so let's set up this React project. I'm not going to worry about Git or anything like that. I mean, I don't know, I could do it with, this is just a test, so. All right, let's do npm. Okay, what was the, I keep forgetting the React, like the initialize the React project. Keep forgetting the command create, npm create. Okay, that's what it is. It's not install. V at latest, and then template, React TypeScripts. Okay, it's npm create. I don't know why I keep forgetting that. Oh yeah, I did complete this. Why is it not saying completed? Oh, now it does. Okay. Cool. Nice. All right. Start with the installation. Okay. Okay, and then we add the test to this. This is a package. It's in scripts. We'll say test. And then we'll go into, put this in source, and then I'll do a new folder, tests. And I'll do app.test.tsx. It. Vitest comes with the test suites described, test cases. I guess IT or it stands for like interactive test, maybe. And then we could do npm run test. Oops. Okay, and then they pass. I see. Waiting for file changes. Right, so then I see. So then basically the test suite can be continue to run, and then it'll rerun every time a file changes. That's kind of cool. We need to enable HTML and Vitest with a library like JS-DOM. Okay. And then put that into the Vite configuration file. Environment. Right. What? Problem here. No overload matches this call. Export define config, import React. What the heck? I don't know why this is erroring out here. Does not existing user config export. Let's look up this error. Incorrect number of arguments to an anonymous function. Okay. Does it need more? Maybe this is an outdated. Could be outdated. Is there like an initial configuration? Just vit config. Try to access the document in a node environment. Testing library. Types it's because of a TypeScript thing. Okay, so then I'll do that. Testing stash library. Types. Okay. That didn't fix it either. And then set up tests. See if this works. And then Vitest. For default, config. Put this in here. This would need to be inside of source. Compiler options. Side of compiler option. Try that out maybe? I don't know. Setup files, no array, just path string. Oh. Is that it? I don't know why it was an array, well, it was an array here. And this, I don't know why this error is happening, to be honest with you. I would assume it's a typing thing, but I guess the index dot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it breaks anything though necessarily. I think it's just a typing issue. Something with an overload. I'm not honestly 100% sure what an overload is. So I'll just leave it. Ignore it until and see if it fucks anything up. Oh, this is what I already, okay. Did I install testing library React? I don't, maybe I didn't. Whoops. React, save dev. I think I already installed that one too, yeah. Okay. Test setup.js. Ah, okay, if I just followed the tutorial, then I would have been fine. Maybe. Okay. And then I can just put this guy in here. This looks a little more complete than the one I had. Try the import divine config from Vitest config. Oh, from here? Like inside of the setup? Like this? Oh, that fixed it. Thank you. I did not know that's where that needed to come from. Yeah, so I guess it's not in Vite necessarily. Cool. That's it, you can render components in Vitest. Okay. Import rendering. Yeah, this is the default app, but I don't know if we want to keep that. Okay, so then we'll just clear out, let's clear out the CSS. Actually, probably didn't even need to do that. I can just app.css, get that out of there, and get this out of here. Our first test. Okay. First, we'll render the component using render. Oh, in the test, I see. Okay. So let's try this guy. And then this needs to come in from there. Is the typing good? I think so. Execute npm test app.test.js. Oh, whoops. What? Oh, it's the wrong path. That's my fault. Because we're in the base, so I need to go to source/tests/app.test.tsx. That's it. Okay. Cool. I was blindly following this. Get by role is just one of the dozen query methods. Queries are classified into 3 types: get by, query by, and find by. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this on my other screen. By role methods are favored methods for querying. Queries that are done through by role. I would put my notes here too, but I don't want to like clutter the screen. I mean, I could, and then I can go like, is it this? No, it's not the right. There's a way of getting this to work. Okay, and then I can just swap these two. Perfect. All right. Gotta love this window manager. Still getting used to it. I've been using Aerospace for like, I don't know, 2 months or so, and it's still kind of confusing. Queries that are done through by role methods are favored. Ensure UI is accessible to everyone, no matter what mode. Simulating there are numerous ways user can interact with the web page. You can use live user feedback interaction. So, okay. I think that's fine. We just need to import use state. Good. I could have just copy pasted this, but I like typing stuff out. Let's test if the button works as intended. In the test suite, we'll use a separate utility. Oh yeah, now the test failed, see? Okay, cool. Separate utility to query UI elements, React testing libraries provide the screen object, which has all the methods for querying. Provide screen objects, which contains all methods for querying. Do not have to worry. Better to use screen to SS query. Yeah, better. Right. So screen would be in here. So say renders first heading, and then expect const container. I guess this returns render result, which is this HTML element. Where's to match snapshot? Not sure what that is. Oh, this is the snapshot. For example, the snapshot file, which is automatically generated after grant. Ah, I see. Okay. Interesting. So we can do expect container to match snapshot, and then this just generates a snapshot based on the render. I see. This basically just ensures it renders properly, right? All right, let's take a 5-minute break. I will actually be right back. I just have to go to the washroom. So see you in a couple of minutes. Apologize, I'm back. I just had to go check something downstairs. Fill up my water. Your CS degree did nothing for you. Going to be self-taught as well. Nice. semi-tracked. That's I don't know. That's the way I decided to go. But you know, there's no exact right answer. I guess there's multiple ways to learn. But yeah, I don't know. I've been consistent thus far. Barely. What resource do you recommend someone to learn React? Well, I'm using the Odin Project JS, so you can use the Odin Project, or you could use. Honestly, the React docs are really good. Like if you just go to the React documentation, and like follow through, like there's a lot of stuff in here that you can learn. So if you want like an introduction to React, I'd even say the React docs are kind of nice. And then you've got this reference, of course, so you can go through and look stuff up. Thinking in React, you can do there's like a tic-tac-toe game tutorial, which is cool. So I don't know. That's what I would say. But there's many others too. Like you can probably use, there's probably like, I think Free Code Camp probably has a React section. Maybe. I actually don't know if it does. It might. I think it does. Anyway, I don't use Free Code Camp, but yeah, there's multiple ways. All right, let's get back into another 25 minutes. All right, so let's see. Let's test if the button works. Oh yeah, I need to actually code this up. What does IT stand for? Is it interactive test? It is Vitest, okay. I just want to see what the IT stands for, or it. Of course, yeah, that's not going to be helpful. I guess it's just a test case, but test or it. It's just a test. Okay. Got you. It. Test. Oh yeah, I was gonna type this out. And it's async. Wait, why are we doing it as an async function? Oh, because it could happen. Ah, I see. Because it could have happened theoretically whenever, right? Okay, so user event. I don't know where this is coming from here. Where do we import user event? Oh. Import user event from testing library user event. Maybe I didn't actually install it, did I? Ah, I didn't. That would be why. Now this should be fine, right? Good. All right. Okay. Oh, so this actually like just tracks the user, I see. app, and then const button equals screen dot get by role button name is click me. I think that's it, right? And then await user.click button. Text content dot to match. Oh, second heading. Cool. And then I can test that again. And then, so does the test respond to me? Or does it simulate something? We'll see. Oh, it does, okay. Interesting. So it does simulate a user press. So this user event thing does not rely on me, actually. So then this user.click simulates a click. I see. User event setup initializes simulated user, which can then be used to simulate user interactions with the UI, right? e.g. button presses, inputs, etc. Cool. Like this dock behavior. Come on, move over here. Thank you. I don't know if there's a way. I tried looking for a way, because like if you hold your, on Mac OS, if you hold your cursor at the bottom of the monitor, whatever monitor you're on, it'll move the dock between monitors, but I don't like that default behavior. I don't think there's any way to turn it off though. Maybe there is, but I haven't seen anything. I didn't look into it deeply, but I do need to turn my light on. It's an HTML representation of the app component, and it will be compared against, yeah, so it's snapshots are HTML representations. The DOM, or not the DOM, I guess, of the component. Snapshot tests are fast and easy to write. Fast and easy tests to write. Snapshot tests may cause false positives. However, can also cause false. Something how to ascertain the validity of a component from a snapshot test. Bug might go undetected. False positive, cannot assert validity of a component from a snapshot test. When the snapshot gets built, how do we know when the snapshot gets built? I guess when it's rendered? Testing implementation details. This is a YouTube video. What is this? Oh, it's an article. Okay. Take a glance at all the available query methods. User event API. This actually might be useful. Is the testing library literally just called testing library? That's funny. I didn't think about that actually. I didn't think about the fact that the testing library is literally just called testing library. I mean, makes sense. Okay, so what else do we have to do? Okay, React testing library. Cheat sheet. Query, you know what, I'll do like a testing folder. Testing. React testing. Out of here. Move this like here. Save this to this. ID docs. Learn about test IDs. Okay, so what order? So we wanted to do this first. Got the cheat sheet, test ID, introduction to user event, pros and cons of snapshot tests. Holy buns, what the hell? Why is this in like a serif font? I feel like any code in serif font is just cursed. Unless this just the font isn't loading. But like, why would your default be a serif font for like code snippets? That's terrible. Like not even monospace either, just like a serifed non-monospaced font. I don't think I need this test thing anymore. This snapshot testing benefits and drawbacks. Okay, alright, let's go through these. testing implementation details. Actually, I wanted to have that open. I'm gonna save this. Vitest setup. Okay. Testing implementation details. Back when I used Enzyme, I stopped carefully around certain APIs. Allow your test to test implementation details of your components. Avoid testing implementation details. False negatives and false positives. Class accordion. Okay, so this is a class component. Is this old? Okay, maybe a little bit. If you're wondering why I'm using data class component with hooks for the examples, keep reading. It's an interesting reveal. False negatives and refactor. People spend way too much time babysitting tests. Refactors do not change behavior, just implementation. Refactors often, I should say. No reason to update tests. If the tests are just for behavior. Awesome, we do a quick check. Right. Tivs can occur if there are written tests that test the implementation as if you refactor, these will break, even if the behavior is exactly as intended. Cool. I'll see your coworkers working on the accordion. False positives. Okay, so problem is there's no test to verify that the button was wired up to set open index correctly. Tests may not be coverage threshold 100%. What the hell is enzyme? Guess it's just another library, testing library. So you can rewrite all the tests with enzyme, limiting yourselves to APIs that are free of implementation details, but instead of single test verifies all the behavior really well. Implementation details are users of your code will not really use C or even know about. Using your site /app /products and others. End users typically only interacts with the rendered output. Developers only interacts with the props that they pass to the components you're making. Say if your components library, something like this. Tests should therefore only enter these. Okay. Let's take another 5-minute break. Got this cheat sheet, test ID, user event, pros and cons of JS snapshot testing. Then what else do we got? Mocking callbacks and components. Great overview, user event API, tutorial synchronous. What's the benefit of doing an asynchronous? Well, what does it even mean to do a synchronous user event API? I don't know. Yeah, I would suspect that the... and I could also skip this. I was looking at this. I was looking a little bit ahead. Type checking with prop types. We use TypeScript, so there's no reason for this. We already do this, just in TypeScript. Why, like, why would you just use, like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, if you're gonna type check, you might as well type check everything. But anyway, I don't know. We have a shopping cart app. Cool. Sorry, I just like to look ahead in the course sometimes, kind of get an idea of what's coming, stuff like this. You know, kind of lets me see what I can look forward to, I guess, or not look forward to. I don't know. But yeah, I would say that probably the next couple of streams are going to be study streams primarily. I mean, I want to get to that next project shortly, but we'll see. But again, and this is just my personal style, and I've mentioned this before, is when I go through these and I write notes and I study, it gives me a resource that I can look back on with my condensed thoughts on, you know, whatever features I'm studying, whether it's like the user event API or whatever it is. And two, when it comes to actually building projects, I have been through the material once already, so I have a vague, non-practical familiarity with the concepts that the project necessitates, right? So then I can kind of implement those, or I can put that knowledge that I've gained to use. Like it's kind of like a back and forth between theory and application of that theory. And then the learning happens across the entire, you know, entire process, I guess, in different stages. So yeah. All right. It's getting a little bit. I'll leave my window open for a little longer. All right, 25 more minutes. Let's go. Let's keep the grind moving here. Let's go back up. Where were we? Create a third user. Our application code needs to consider. What about hooks? Enzyme still has a lot of trouble with hooks. Turns out when you're testing implementation, details change and the implementation has a big impact on your tests. You avoid testing implementation details. Use the right tools and a good start. What to test? Figuring out what to test. Test code that only test code that users will use, interact with. End users and developers. Cheat sheets. Yo, sup, J-Mac? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Work guide to exported functions. Don't really tell me what happens here. Get by, no match. Bind by, query by. Throw. Just grinding out tons of leak code. Fair enough. You got any more interviews lined up, or what's the situation? That's kind of shitty though, because like I would enjoy doing leak code if it was something like if there wasn't pressure, but like with all the pressure of like having to perform like solving shit live for interviews, like oh, I would hate that. I mean, maybe I'm gonna have to go through it if I want to eventually break into the industry, but have your final round. Oh shit. So you made it to the final round though. That's good. How many rounds are there? Is it like 3 or 4? That's brutal. Like exciting but brutal, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of both. Test ID. By test ID. Does it allow like targeting or something? Allows targeting of elements based on a specially defined test ID. C X. Tomorrow is the 3rd technical round, so I guess 4 so far if you include the screening. Got you. Is the screening like a personality interview or like a soft skills, like non-technical, like just kind of like who you are as a worker, you know, how do you work in teams, etc. Like all that bullshit, like all this stuff that HR looks for. Which, by the way, for like most jobs, that's the entire interview. There's no like, what do you know type shit. But yeah, that's intense. Yeah, pretty much. It's usually a freebie round if you can talk like a normal human being. Yeah, exactly. Because like, I mean, I think they know probably too that like most. Okay, well, this is a bit of a stereotype, but most like software engineers might be socially awkward. So like, if you're a little weird, maybe they'll like be like, yeah, you're probably a smart guy. You know, we can tell you're a smart guy, but or woman. You know, yeah, I don't know. But that's like basically like when I got my first few jobs, like outside of like when I was in when I was in my first degree, like I did some summer student stuff. Like I like filed AP documents all summer for a finance agency. But like it was just so menial. Like and like the questions were like, how do you work in teams? Like, what do you do if you find a problem on the workplace? But it's like so general. It's I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. User event. It's a companion library for testing. Simulates user interactions by dispatching events. Yeah, so it simulates. I already have that. Fire event. Actually, I don't need to write that. Testing libraries build a fire event. User event allows you to describe user interaction instead of a concrete event. Allows description of user interaction rather than just one event as in. Adds visibility and interactability checks. Adds and manipulates the DOM just as cool. Okay. Pros and cons of just snapshot testing. You're like, why do we need to learn about jest? Well, I guess jest is just the testing library that is specific to that article, but be good to start. Okay, just provides a snapshot mechanism. Blah blah blah. Advantages: just snapshot tests can be written faster than traditional ones. Pros. Whoops. Speed up the creation. Speeds up creation of unit tests for UI. Tests component behavior. Snapshot test check how it behaves correctly. Test with snapshots gives you a powerful tool. With various collections of props, conditional tests. easily see whether condition, whether component rendered properly in response to some user triggered condition. G API call. Use re-render, which creates full elements. I wonder if that's because all of the, like, okay, so if you're testing a snapshot of a component, if in the rendered or in the snapshot, all of the renderings of all of the child components are included. Because that would be a problem. Right? Because you probably, I mean, you wouldn't want the return of a single component to be larger than, like, I don't know, maybe 100 lines or something. Even that's pushing it. But, like, it must be due to child components, right? Yeah, exactly. From this. One is you should check if the props required are passed properly. How old is this too? This is just React. Oh, 2019. Okay, so it's a little old. 9 April. Finally done with the group project call. Nice, Jay. But we've still got like a Pomo and a half left. Well, a Pomo and like a third maybe. That's cool. Was it a productive call? I hope it was productive. Okay, I'm honestly like losing focus here. Increase render by shallow. It was very productive. That's good. Because I know sometimes group calls can be very unproductive. Shallow render. What is shallow render? Oh, that's okay. Can use shallow renders. Do not render all child components inside components DOMs inside of parent when which can help this issue. Okay. Found out your professor changed the cadence of your last assignment. Oh, jeez. Wait, when you say cadence, what do you mean? Like the due date, like, or the pacing? Like, because I would assume like maybe you have like check-ins or something. Um, so this is like deprecated docs, right? So. Now the ESLint is happy. Right. How do you call a shallow render in a test? Oh, it only does one row. Oh, okay. Our assignments for the entire semester were due on Sunday. Oh, shit. That's annoying. I feel like... I know some people where like profs have fucked around like that with group projects. That's super annoying. I feel like you should be able to like call them out on it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What's the project for anyway? Shallow render. Oh, you can do a mock. So, shallow renders can be accomplished with mocks. Method from shallow. Where's shallow? The extracted. There are also two syllabi. Oh, Jesus, that's annoying. Oh, database management? Yikes. That sounds annoying. Honestly, okay, my database, well, it wasn't database management. My database's professor was such a tool. That guy sucked. He was kind of a prick, but you know what? You know, I also like really did not do well on the final exam for that course, despite getting like a 90 plus on every assignment. Like, I don't know what like his marking criteria was for the exam, because I like walked out of that exam like thinking I did fairly decent. Like, I thought I got like an A or like a B plus or something like that, but I got like a C minus on the exam. I was like, what the hell? But anyway, it didn't really affect my grade that much because I did like so well on the on the um, on the assignments, because you know the exam was like writing SQL queries on fucking paper, which is stupid. Um, or wasn't the entire exam, but there was like a lot of bullshit like that. But I don't understand like how I'm convinced the TAs are just like out for blood. You'll still get an A minus, but you had 90. Yeah, it's annoying. That's basically what happened to me, Jay. Like, I had like around that. Like, I had like a 95 or a 96 before this exam, but because I got like a C minus on the exam, like I got like a 61, um, which is a C minus in my school. Uh, my grade dropped to a B plus, and I was pissed. It was like a 79 or something. Um, but you know what? I'll take a B plus. I only got B plus was my lowest grade in my degree. And I only got it in 2 courses. Databases, because that prof sucked, and the exam was bullshit, and that math, one of the math courses. We hate subjectivity. Yeah, exactly. Because like I was talking to my buddy after that exam, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I think I failed that exam. You know, it was really hard. Blah blah blah." And then like we got the same grade. Like, I thought I did decent. He thought he failed, and then we literally got the same grade, which like doesn't make any sense to me. And I also wasn't allowed to see my exam. Like, I emailed the professor like asking if I could like look at it, like maybe the beginning of the next semester, and he's like, "No, sorry, like you're not." I'm just like stupid. Anyway, yeah, it was fucked, and the exam was worth like 40% of our final too. which like you'd actually be surprised. Like, yeah, so I had like a 95 going into the exam, or like 96 or something, and then yeah, I got like a 61 on the exam, and then it brought my grade down to 79, which was like sad as hell. But you know what? I still did okay in the course, all things considered. Um, but no, it was like, yeah, or it would give you, it would describe like a situation. It would be like, draw up an entity relationship diagram based on the described situation. And it's like, if you know anything about database design and like management, there are many different ways to solve a problem correctly, right? Like you can make a schema in multiple different ways and have it be correct. Like that's where the subjectivity comes into play, right? So what I'm assuming is my schema that I wrote on the exam probably wasn't what the TA wanted. It like wasn't the example. I didn't interpret the uh thing properly, and then I probably like flunked that question. I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that's where it had to be, because like I knew for this queries, like I had those like on lock. So it wasn't the queries. So I don't know. I honestly don't know where I lost the grades, and I wish I knew, but it's annoying because I actually work, like part of my job is database management, so it's kind of stupid. But exactly. Exactly. I was never a TA actually. Well, I was. I was a TA in my first degree. I actually TA'd first year chemistry when I was in fourth year of my first degree. So like 4 years ago, I TA'd first year chemistry. That was fun. Okay, I'm gonna finish this in the next section. Take the 5 minute break, even though I was kind of already on break. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of slowing down a little bit, a little bit, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, no, I would try to be pretty, objective and not, uh, because like the thing is too is when you're TAing, like when you're fourth year TAing, like under year, like first year stuff, like you don't know any of those kids, like you're, at least you shouldn't. Not that that influences anything, but like I know there can be conflicts of interest, right? Um, like I knew one of my friends was TAing a first year course, and he openly told me that he would like F over like some of the stronger students just to like make everyone's grade more level, because he didn't like giving out hundreds. And I'm like, bro, like you can't, like, you have to be objective when it comes to this, or as objective as possible. I understand for things like philosophy or even like humanities, it's like definitely there's subjectivity that comes into it. But I think like for humanities courses, you should not have TAs grading shit. Like, in my opinion, if you're an English major, you should not be getting graded by TAs, because like the TAs don't have enough experience to like know what the, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it's a lot easier to TA like a math course or something where it's very like there is a right answer, right? It's very black and white. Um, I don't know. But yeah, no, it's gotta love the academia world. That's why I didn't continue. Like I totally like respect you and anyone else in here that's like doing graduate studies, like masters and stuff, but like fuck, I couldn't do it because like I couldn't do TAing. I couldn't go through all that. I know there's like, but and that's the thing with masters too, is there's more subjectivity involved. Um, yeah, exactly, Jay, exactly. I mean, some of the problem is like, or some of the problems are like, for example, like when I was TAing first year chemistry, you have like 8 sections, right? Like there are 8 lab sections, each with like, and that's not even, that's only one of the lecture sections. So there were like 2 lecture sections, and then each lecture section had its own 8 lab sections. You'll let me know how masters goes. You'll hopefully start next spring. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, I honestly, well, it depends on the masters too. Like, anyway, let me go back to my chemistry thing. Yeah, there's 8 sections, and then each section has like 20 students, right? Or like 25 students in the lab. So like that's a shit ton to grade. Like, so there's no way like a prof could grade like 300 lab reports. Like I get it. Like I know why TAs exist, but at the very least make the TAs like PhD students or something, not like other undergrads. Like I only did it because like the TAing like was paying decently. Um, I mean we got paid fixed rate like salary per week, but still. It wasn't based on hours. It was based on like just per week. But yeah, no. With masters, like, it depends on some masters are course based, where that's just kind of like I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it's like undergrad part two. But then other masters, like especially in research, are very self driven, right? Like, um, my younger brother is doing a master's degree, and his shit is very research based. So like, I don't know. It depends what it is. But then there's like professional masters. Like I think like MBAs and shit. Like those are like more professional masters that are like very course based and very formulaic. Um I mean, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if MBAs qualifies, but they're very like I guess defined because the I guess the point with some masters is you can kind of make it how you want it to be. Um it's all experience based, not research. Yeah, that makes sense. The applied, like if I was gonna do a master's, I would definitely do what you're doing, Jay. Like I would not do a research master's. Like, talk about like boring. Like I don't know. Like research is just not my thing. Like I'm more of like a builder and like a creative person that likes to make things, but I don't like to figure shit out. Like I like to use existing tools to make new things, but I don't like to invent new things. Like I'm not like a deep thinker in that way, I guess. Yeah. Like I'm like a tinkerer and like a builder more than I am like a inventor, I guess. Um but yeah, that's just my personal proclivity. Okay, I'm gonna close my window because it's freezing in my room now. Then I'll start the next section. Because it was like high 60s here today, like 60s Fahrenheit. So it was like 18, 19 degrees Celsius. Very warm. And then now it's like below 10. It's like probably like 8 degrees outside. So now it's really cold. And then it's going to be going down to like -3 tonight. That's just Canadian weather for you. We get 70s. I'm kind of switching between Fahrenheit and Celsius, but we get like, high teens or like high 60s, during the day, and then we get like below 30 at night. That's prime weather to get sick. Exactly. That's Canadian spring for you. Like we get spring days that are like high teens, low 20s, and then the nighttime it goes below zero, below freezing. Thankfully, I do have a heater/AC unit in my room, so we're gonna be just fine. My room is like, what is it reading? I think it's 20.2 degrees in here, like Celsius. But it feels colder because like the window's like right behind my MacBook screen, so there was like a cold draft like coming in like directly towards me. But yeah, no. So I just shut that guy. Sometimes there's issues with translations. Okay, yeah, so that's another problem. Yeah, no. Use React until ID of the translation or object with ID translation values. That's another thing like I completely forgot about when building shit. Like if I'm gonna make some sort of app, like I don't know, like in the future, like if I build some sort of thing that people use, I don't know if I like make whether it's a game, like a web game or like something like that. Like I had an idea for a web game, a couple days ago that I wrote down. But like if I make something eventually, like some full stack app, I'm gonna have to localize it. I completely forgot about localization. Like that's a whole thing, right? Like because you have to like, well, I mean, it depends, I guess. You can only support like so many languages, but You know, if you support like, let's say English, Spanish, French, maybe some other heavy hitters, German, stuff like this. Yeah, I didn't even friggin' remember that, or even like you can get it like more languages that are further away from English, like Arabic, Japanese, Mandarin, Korean. Like frig, I don't know. I feel like you need to help get other people that speak those languages fluently to like help you localize shit. And the thing with Arabic and like Hebrew and stuff is like the script is right to left, which would like I don't even know if that would screw up like certain layouts or because you would probably have to like mirror your layout if it was dependent on the fact that you read left to right. You made your SaaS appear to support multiple languages based on country locale, but they're all English. That's funny. It's like UK English, US English, Canadian English, Australian English. Like we all have different Englishes, right? Even though it's all basically the same shit. Like we spell color with a U, you know, type. It's like that doesn't even count. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I'm kind of like skimming this because I'm kind of like losing focus on this one thing. React Intel documentation. I don't really care yet about this. You didn't even make those changes? Fair. Avoid renders correctly. Snapshots. Should avoid naming renders correctly. Avoid naming snapshots. Always control your work. It's also the other thing, like the big thing with like, because I casually follow the game development world too. Like if you're making a game, especially a game that's like dialogue heavy, like frig, localization's a pain. You basically have to pay people to like translate all the dialogue in the game and everything. Unless you are bilingual or multilingual, you can translate yourself. But like for example, if I'm only like a beginner in Spanish or something, I'm not gonna like, or Portuguese, I'm not gonna make those changes. I would hire someone else to do it. Like I don't trust myself to know what to do. But anyway, I digress. Always control your work. Should always receive information about possible errors. Always receive information. To detect ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Biblioteca is library. Something is the library. What is the library? I see. I don't know Spanish. I think that's Spanish. Or is that... Where is the library? Got you. I think in French, where is quand, which is Quand. I think. Don't quote me on that. I guess gotcha. In French, it'd be like quand est la bibliothèque? Quand est la bibliothèque? That was wicked bad pronunciation, but you know what I mean. Because it's like bibliothèque, like it's TECHQUE or something like that. At least like Quebecois French, which is what you learn in Canada. You don't learn Parisian. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Summary. Maybe we should consider... Yeah, that's good. Good enough. I was getting burned out on that. that article. I think I'm just gonna like, this should be basically the same as the other one, right? French is the most judgmental when it comes to pronunciation. Yeah, well, you know what? They can go screw themselves. I don't care. I'm not gonna openly disrespect the French person in front of them, but like, you know, if they're being picky about pronunciation, and then meanwhile, they, like, this is especially true in Quebec too, because if you go to Quebec and you pronounce, you're like, if you say like "cond est la toilet," you know, like a English, like anglophone going in there and saying that, you know, they'll get all pissy. But I don't know. But then they pronounce like their English, like a lot of Quebecois English is like they can't speak English or they butcher English. So it's like it's a two-way street, guys, you know? But anyway, that's no beef, I promise, but it's just like I don't know. It's true both with Parisian and Quebec. But however, the Quebecois French and the Parisians, they judge each other, right? Like France French and Quebec French, they kind of they'll get into like heated arguments, or like the even better thing is like I've seen people that speak Quebecois go to France and then they try to speak French, and then the French people in France pretend like they can't understand Quebecois even though they probably can, but they're just doing it to like annoy the Canadians. I don't know. So, you know, there's a lot of like infighting there too. But yeah. Anyway. Snapshot testing, output comparison, tests provide regression. Right. Oh god, image-based testing? Disgusting. Why is that a thing? Image-based testing exists. That's nasty. I don't know why, but I don't like that. Like, I feel like that's so... Like, I feel like if you use, like, a visual tester, like, that's gonna break. Like, there's no way. Like, you're gonna get so many false positives on this. Like, everything's gonna bust. Let's skip this section. Yeah. Snapshot testing works by rendering some characteristic of a system. Okay, I'm just skimming this, really. Benefits. Help out quite a bit. Snapshot just yeah, so it's already shorter. Okay, good. Tools, we got the tools. Intern, no. I use, what's it called? The React, or the, whatever the tool set was. Testing library. Drawbacks. Tightly coupled to an application's output. Making them fragile. To minor tweaks in layout. Or style. Or actually, style doesn't matter, it's just layout. Snapshot checks don't actually indicate anything about the expected output. Don't indicate anything about expected output other than that it should match a pattern. Yeah, see, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, they're not suited to dynamic content. Like, Like, I feel like that would be true, especially for this, right? So since it's tightly coupled to layout or output. However, I don't think this is necessarily true, although this is the same. The same API, it looks like, that we were using. Certain types of dynamic content. But isn't it true that in the React or the testing library, it like updates the snapshot based on changes? I don't know. So maybe that like isn't necessarily a problem. Storage requirements. Okay, all right, fine. That's good. All right, I'm gonna say that's done. I spent like probably like almost 3 pomos on that, so. All right, let's go to the next testing section, mocking callbacks. All right, so let's get our testing repo open. Not repo. Testing project. Testing test project. Mocking callbacks and components. Blah, blah, blah. I already know what mocking is. Okay, so let's do another. Ah, so here's the snapshots. I see. That's cool. So let's do a new folder, components. And then we'll do custom button.tsx. Custom button is a component with a prop passed in. We're interested in the onClick prop. We have no idea what the function does. Or we have no idea what the function does. We have no idea how the function will affect the application. All we know is that it must be called when the user clicks the button. Right, I see. We just pass it an empty one. Okay, and then for the sake of not having to type a shit ton, I'm probably just going to copy paste this. I'm going to say custom button.test.tsx. And then or custom button. Oh, it has no default export. Okay, so I have to do this. Oops. To be in the document. This is probably one of the dumbest names for some sort of API method that I've ever seen. To be in the document. I don't know. Where does that come from though? So it doesn't like this. Does not exist on type assertion HTML element. Then it probably, yeah. Probably doesn't exist. Yeah, exactly. Let's look it up. It doesn't exist for a reason, probably, right? Assertion API. Do we import just DOM? Testing library just DOM. I think I have that installed, no? I think I have that already. Yeah, so that doesn't fix anything. You can add a reference comment. Okay. To be in document. Oh, it was right here. Okay. I mean, it's in the docs here. Matcher does not find attached elements. Import expect tests from import page. Yeah, I don't know. It seems to exist. Oh. Someone had the exact same problem. Let's see what they say here. Try using setup file and just.config. Is that a thing? Just.config.ts. Import testing library. Testing library that just on matchers. I mean, I can include this too. Ah, that fixed it. Fixed it. Okay, cool. It does indeed exist. I wonder if this guy was on the exact... No, maybe not. I was wondering if he was like on Odin Project or something. That'd be funny. So silly. Yeah, exactly. Oh well. I mean, a lot of this is just... See, like, this is just... Why is this... Vitest utils dot function? These 3 tests were done. Okay, so can we test this then? Oh, nice. Okay, so that did work. Cool. Second, third test, we mock the onClick. Oh, so this is the mock. So basically, we don't even implement a function. We just, this is a mock for any function. I see. This is a mock to stand in for any function. I see. I can also set up mocks in a before each. Oh yeah, I should probably get this guy in here, right? Doing my little layout shit again. I want this here and then this here, like this. Can set up mocks in a, whoops. Block. May be suitable. Better readability is recommended that all setups be done in the same test block. But for some setups or for most and readability is recommended that mocking is done in each test block. Invoke user event.setup before rendering a component. That's fine. Mocking child components. Child components can be mocked. Probably come across the project submissions list under every project. These components are written in React and tested with React testing library. They've since been removed, but they still serve as great examples. Read and try to comprehend the submissions list JSX component. Okay. Flip move. I'm sure what move does. Guess maybe that doesn't matter. Importing a bunch of stuff like any other. There might be a couple of unfamiliar things. Take a glance at the props. Here's the props. There's a user submission, it renders a submission component. If it has submissions is true, then we sort submissions and render them. Oh look, Odin Project uses whatever it is. Tailwind. I couldn't think of the name. Even though they preach using vanilla CSS, but whatever. That's okay. I'm just gonna like finish looking through this. I'm just gonna finish looking through this main article, and then I'll probably leave the assignment section for. I'll either do it on stream tomorrow, or I'll do it on my own time, before stream. Okay, so let's see. Maybe a couple. Okay, so this logic. Go through the test file. Bro, this is so much. Project submission provider. Oh, this is like context stuff. Notice how you mock the submission component. We only render the bare minimum to realize the validity of the component. Ah, I see. Only render the bare minimum. Move forward. Don't worry. In the context of this test, let's divide them into 3 test suites. First suite makes some assertions if the user is submission, some assertions if the user is not. Let's see. The first describe is here. Submissions list. So renders the submissions array in order of likes. Does not render any submissions when array is empty. Expect query all by test ID submission length. Expect screen get by text no submissions yet. Okay. Dot to be in the document. So basically you're just testing whether this text is in the document somewhere. I guess that's what that means. I feel like that's still a dumb function call, but whatever. Feel free to flick through other components in their tests. The other important thing to know is almost all tests follow a certain pattern. Arrange, act, assert. And this is like nice. Cool. All right, so I think that's probably all I'm gonna do for today. Don't really see any need to, or not that I don't see any need to do it. I'm kind of already getting slower and slower. W Blender, yes, indeed W. Yeah, no, I think that's gonna be it for me today. I'm just gonna commit this guy. Git commit and sync. Perfect. I appreciate the W's. So yeah. It's gonna be it for me today. If you want to follow along on my journey, seeing all the ups and downs, the wins and losses, feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And hopefully, you know, the next stream and the stream after that probably are going to be study streams. So if you want to, you know, get some work done while I'm streaming, you can use that as motivation to do some stuff. Otherwise, you know, you can just watch, hang out, chat, whatever. I'll be live tomorrow at around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. And yeah, if you want updates, go live, join the Discord, link at the top of the description, and I'll see you all tomorrow, I hope. Have a good rest of your night.